Hi again, it's Jason with another garden gear review, this time of the Sun Joe CJ603E chipper shredder. This is not an industrial gas chipper shredder, this is an electric one meant for a much lighter duty, up to about 1.7 inches wide of the branches. This is meant as a companion video to the one I did on my main channel, Fraser Valley Rose Farm, where I show you me doing the job, but I'm also discussing there its comparison to the solution I had before, which was just burning the branches, as compared to this. So I hope you can check out that video. In this one, I'm going to focus a little bit more on my dealings with Sun Joe, the quality of the product, some particulars about using it that I found after this first cycle of running through a pile, and I wanted to get you a closer look at the product. Now, first of all, Sun Joe is Snow Joe, which was made for, I guess, winter type of products like snowblowers and such, and they just rebranded themselves for the summer products like this as Sun Joe. I ordered it from Amazon, got the product, and frankly, there was a wrong part in the box. No big deal, you expect this kind of thing. I did contact Sun Joe to see if they could help me with that, and they were very accommodating. I have to admit, it seemed like they were a bit run off their feet at the offices there. They didn't answer emails, but they did answer the phone, and once I got a hold of them, they handled my problem nicely. Now, the model that I looked at here, like I say, is the CJ603E. They have another model, or maybe more other models that are lighter duty than this. I picked the heaviest duty one. You would normally find this selling on Amazon in the US for about, I think about $225, something along those lines. Although I will say, at the time that I shot this video, I looked again, and it looked like they had it on special for a little bit less than that. So maybe if you're quick, you can catch that. Okay, let's get a closer look at it before I show you how I used it and some other particulars. So, super easy to put together. It actually comes almost fully assembled in the box. Only basic thing I had to do was put on the legs and the wheels at the bottom there. I'll circle around here for just a second. There is the control panel right there. This is a bag that comes with it, and the bag would clip on to this chute over here. You'll see that green clip right there. And then, of course, the chips will fly through that chute, fill up the bag. You can use it with or without the bag, I suppose, but that's kind of handy for carrying the chips away. But before I finally, because I pulled off this this plate right here, before I went any further, I just wanted to show you the mechanism of the chipping. And obviously, the branches will come in through the top, and this piece here will be spinning against the metal plate on the left to break up those branches. That blade or cog or whatever you want to call it in the middle is impressively heavy duty. I mean, you can just feel the quality. It's very chunky. It's a high strength steel. And if anything is going to wear down in this machine, it is not that, but it's going to be the plate on the left. And to that end, they've placed this I guess a tightening knob on the outside that as this metal plate wears down, the metal plate on the left there, as it wears down, you can use this to tension it further and create less of a gap between the blade and the striking plate. It comes with a paddle like this that helps you to push the material in, so you aren't trying to stuff your hands in there. And of course, the grinding mechanism is down in here. You can see that by this part here, there is a maximum limit to what size of branch you should be sticking in there. So we'll see if there's anything in here that I have to skip or cut down or pull off, but I'm hoping that most of it will go through. Well, now that you've seen inside of it, you can get some idea of why I chose this one over some of the lighter duty models. I have a friend who has a lighter duty model of the Sun Joe, and he has already had to replace the blades, and that's only after a season of use. This one seems much more robust, and I'm happier with that. So getting down to the point of using it, you can see I've got a big pile of chips here, and I'm going to insert some footage of how I reduced that down from this wagon here. It would have been useless for me to use that bag that came with it. It would have filled up very, very quickly, and the bag is pretty light duty anyway, so I don't think that would have been a good solution. I mentioned in the other video that the output chute does tend to, well, I guess if you let it pile up underneath that, and it'll reach back up to the base of the chute, and it will clog it. So you do have to kick around at the base here to get this pile out of the way as you're chipping. Another thing I observed is that it had a much easier time with thick, straight pieces of wood that you would feed through here rather than thin pieces of wood. In fact, when it comes to the little twiggy type stuff, I had to bundle it together to try to get it to push through. I had to use the paddle a number of times to push it through. And if any piece of wood had a bad crook in it or anything like that, it does have a tendency in this top portion of the feeder to chip off the bottom of it and then back it back out, and it can be hard to clear that. So that was something I had to watch for. Is I have my loppers with me back there, sorry, right back there, and I had to at times go and cut off any crooks or any bends in larger pieces of wood just so they didn't lodge themselves into the feeder chute there. What else can I say about this product? One way it does differentiate itself from the lighter models is that it has a way of backing itself up or using the blade. Like if the blade jammed, you have a stop button on here. I'll give you some close-ups here, and then you can use the reverse button to back it out. Now, I didn't have to use that function on any of this wood. It seemed to have no problem going through the stuff that I was using today. The brown material, the truly hard dead wood that had been there, chips beautifully. The greener type stuff, it would sometimes just pull through and skin it. So I do have little pieces like this and recognizable stringy pieces like this that it just skinned through or pulled through and didn't get a good purchase on to chip it. The consistency of the chips themselves, some are big and chunky and some are quite small. Again, it seemed to vary an awful lot based on what you were trying to feed through the machine. What would you use this for? Well, I'm going to use it for a mulch in my yard, or I'm going to use it to add to some pathways that I have around the yard as well as wood chips. All just fine, and for a rustic area that would be fine. But if you wanted to have a kind of a nicer or more finished look in your garden, this might not be appropriate for that. All right, I hope you found this useful as a review of the Sun Joe CJ603E chipper shredder. If you have any questions about it, please drop those down into the comments. I guess my summary is that it does what I expected it to do for an electric chipper, and it looks like it could last for the kind of duty that I want on the farm here for a good long time. So I'm crossing my fingers on that, and thanks for watching.